Hi there guys, Sam here. I just wanted to give, as the title suggests, a quick overview of my girlfriend's Fiesta ST. Well, my other videos I've mentioned as well, I owned a Fiesta ST myself. I had a Spirit Blue ST2, which I owned from new for 4 years. So I got it in 2013. Had that for 4 years, did about 40,000 miles. So I'm well familiar with this car. And yeah, I'll get straight into it really. So it's a 200 brake horsepower car really. It says it has overboost function, but 200 brake horsepower if you put your foot flat down. Weight wise, again 1,100 kilos, around that. I've mentioned it before about weight. It's so important, and you know, by having less weight in a car, you don't need as much power to pull it around. Sure, my Golf R has an extra 100 brake horsepower, but at the end of the day it's an extra 350 kilos, so it's kind of give and take on that. Also, by being a Fiesta, it's so small, it's so nimble, great around town. You know, you can kind of nip in and out of like tight gaps, and it's got the power to then really kind of shine. It's a real nippy car. It's a load of fun. Kind of an overview really of my experience in my Fiesta. The one thing to note is the suspension is hard. That's the main thing, but it did what it said in the tin. It's such a fun car, and I thought it looked great as well in Spirit Blue. I think it's a great colour. My girlfriend's car, it's in molten orange, which is a fantastic colour. It's an ST3 spec. It's from 2016. One thing to mention certainly for Fiesta ST people, they did a slight revision. So this is a Mark 7.5 car. They essentially wanted to introduce a car called the Fiesta ST200, and that was kind of like their last hurrah limited edition model. And in order to justify the costs of that, bear in mind it's near the end of its life, they decided to introduce it to every single Fiesta ST. So every little change they made, they put on this car. Apart from a little bit extra power, it's actually got about 210 brake horsepower, something like that. So what you get as a result, you get shorter gearing, which you definitely do notice. I've driven this car; it's definitely shorter gearing than in my Fiesta ST. But the main thing to mention is the fact that the suspension is more forgiving. I wouldn't say it's necessarily soft, and certainly not as comfortable as probably the Golf R, but it's not as hard. The dampers, the suspension, they've toned it down, but you don't lose any of that kind of fun in the corners. It still has that, which is fantastic how they've managed to do that. They've just kind of toned it back a little bit. My Fiesta ST probably was too hard, and I think that was probably the main reason why I ended up getting rid of it really. You know, I was probably going to end up doing more miles, and to keep doing it in that car, you know, with the alloys as well, 17-inch alloys, it would crash around a bit on the roads. I've driven this around, you know, I've been a passenger in this. It's definitely more forgiving. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's soft, but it's more forgiving. Yeah, it's, you know, a little bit on the specs of this car. It says it will do around 47.9 miles per gallon. For my Fiesta ST, I managed to get around sort of 44, 45 for my kind of commutes. If you do a good solid journey, you could get into sort of like the 50 miles per gallon, which is a great little trait to have, and obviously saves you a bit of money there. You know, costs wise, you can't buy this car now because of the new Fiesta Mark 8 which has come out. I'm still not so sure on that car. The Fiesta ST variant won't come out till 2018, early mid 2018. It's got a lot to live up to kind of match this. And the Mark 8 in general has got a lot to live up to as well, because this car's a heap of fun. Yeah, and this is a package. It's so good, and I can't strongly recommend it enough over my ownership period of the car. And it's such a load of fun. And I mean, spec wise, the best thing is you get so much kit. Sure, this is the top of the range model, an ST3, which would cost you around sort of £19,000-20,000, which again is great value. But you get everything. You get auto lights, you get auto wipers, you get cruise control, you get heated seats, which you actually get in an ST2, or I have got it in my ST2 anyway. Climate control, you get sat nav, you get auto folding mirrors, you get LED lights, you get these Recaro leather seats, which are just lovely, and so supportive. Compared to the Golf R, these seats are definitely more supportive for me, and as a result, it kind of makes the car more comfortable, and it means you can sort of chuck it around in the corners. You can just throw this car around. It's a load of fun. And the thing that I found hard in my Fiesta ST, so if you went for a Fiesta ST in between the year 2013 and sort of late 2015, you're going to have a firm ride and you're going to have to put up with that. If you got a car sort of on a 2016 to 2017, such as this one, it's more bearable. It can do the other side well. You can sort of sit in 6th gear and you can live with it. You can cruise fine on the motorway. It'll crash around a bit over bumps still, but it's nothing as bad as I'd say my one was. It's certainly just that little bit better, which is fantastic. And all these little bits, push button start, keyless entry, it's brilliant. And all those things would cost so much more on other manufacturers. My Golf R, if I wanted keyless entry, it's another £400. If you want heated seats, you have to get the winter pack, and all these kind of bits that they kind of make in add up. And I just like how they're kind of like, this is your kind of ST1, your basic, your ST2 is kind of halfway house, ST3 is you get everything, and we're not charging you any more for any little bits. And I commend Ford for that, really. I'll do a quick tour of the interior as well. Unfortunately, it's not one of the car's strong suits, I suppose. You get Bogo, sort of Sony stereo. You get the nav as well. I'll boot that up. You also get climate control, sort of shown down there. You get heated seats, lovely 6-speed manual gearbox, lovely handbrake, 3 cool pedals down there. The Recaro seats are just, okay, this is what I talk about the size wise, again compared to the Golf. I can barely get my hand around there. They are huge. Getting in and out of a 3-door is not easy at all. And you also lose space, a little bit of foot space as well for your rear passengers, and if you want to sneak a few extra bits in there. But they're so supportive, and they actually are comfortable as well. I think if they didn't have these seats, they wouldn't be as comfortable. The wheel, round wheel, it's just like a dying breed, isn't it, in cars? Mine's got the flat bottom steering wheel. I think it's lovely steering wheel. The dials, well presented. I would say, if you look at kind of the sort of the rare RPM numbers and the bits on the back, it looks like it's kind of been stuck on by a child, really. It looks quite cheap. But then I suppose this is kind of like a cheap car, so you can forgive it for that. What I'll do is I'll take it outside and I'll just show you a little bit of the outside of the car, and yeah, I'll show you what it's like. So let's take it out. So I've showed the Recaros, look really nice. Kick plates as well. Alloy wheels. What I'll do is I did another video in my Golf R where I just took it around some nice roads around here. I'll do the same journey in this, and you'll see the smile on my face because this is a load of fun. And for me, I haven't driven the Golf long enough, really. This is the most fun car I've ever driven. It's so enjoyable, but such a smile on your face. And on top of you know, in the back of your head, you kind of like the running costs and the price of the car. It makes you smile even more, really, that you're getting so much bang for your buck. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say too much about it, really. It's, you know, I'll definitely do some videos on the car. It's you know, it's such a special car. People talk about it so much. It'd be such a shame, you know, it's just kind of sitting here, me not to include it. Yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be sure to put some more up. Please subscribe. It will certainly encourage me to do a few more of these videos. Certainly more on the my Golf R ownership. If you haven't seen any videos, you know, please feel free to check them out on my channel. And if you've got any questions on this one, on the Fiesta, feel free to let me know, and I'll be sure to answer them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.